this morning, went to update the PopLink or whatever, and there was no webinar. I don't know why. I don't know why. There should have been like 40 of them, and it was gone. So I had to set up a brand new webinar. You should see that there's 49 sessions there. Everybody, once you're registered for one, you're registered for all of them. And I had to send out an email again. So unfortunately, we're going to have a light call today, probably about 50 people when it's all said and done. But that's okay. Did you tell, let's see, no sound. Yes, some people can hear, some people can't. All right, Geoff. Well, he's not going to be able to hear me. Can you do sign language?
Me? Or
yeah, how do we tell him to leave? He can't hear us. We should write on this, on a piece of paper, Geoff, go sign off and sign back on, right? Charlotte made a post in the group. Okay. Yeah, I can't do Zoom either, Dr. Jim. Had too many horrible, horrible experiences with Zoom. So we just have to kind of suffer through this, right? So let me see. All right, it's Bible hour for Pedro. Okay, we're kind of, I'm over here. Everybody's going to be shocked, but that is an iPhone that I have in my hand, and it does not belong to her. It belongs to me. So I joined the dark side of the force this week, and I have an iPhone. So I'm kind of learning how all this works and setting it up. I had an iPhone before. What I was not happy with was the fact that you couldn't get videos off it. This was probably 2010, 2011. But now what I really love about it is the app where we can put it directly into Vimeo. I've hired my old developer back to see if he can go and kind of fix up Video Geyser again. And we'll start using Video Geyser, and we'll go directly from the iPhone into Video Geyser, right?
You don't have
So
an iPhone since 2010?
I have not had an iPhone. I actually threw it out the window.
Oh my God.
I threw the iPhone out the window. That's how frustrated I was with it. So anyways, that was kind of a big deal for me. So there's a lot of updates happening here. I told you all last week kind of the direction that we are going. How many of you have been seeing all the updates hit the platform? This week has been a little bit slower, and the reason why is because there is a big update that we are testing right now. And the reason why, there's two things that are happening. Number one, we're going the direction of the funnels. Number two, we're going the direction of AI. Number three, we're now bringing GC and tying it all together, right? At the same time, I am now to the point where I am extremely happy with the product that we have, and it's time to do a new webinar presentation. Everybody has requested that so that you can go out there and showcase that webinar. So before the angle of the webinar, because I don't want to say we're a minimum viable product. How many of you have bought a minimum viable product lately and you're like, you know what, this is not what Chad puts out, this is not PopLinks, this is not QuizForma level, this is not GC level. Even with the problems we've had, you know when a developer actually cares, and you know when a developer throws something together just to have a launch, right? How many of you understand that now? I think Connie understands that very, very clearly now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not going to find, matter of fact, what time do you think I'm on with the developers in the morning?
You never stop. I mean, you're on them, you're with them right before you go to bed, which could be like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll wake up in the middle of the night and he's not next to me. He's over here on the computer. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Then he jumps back into bed. It could be like 6 o'clock, but then gets right back up like an hour later and gets back on with him. He's on with them all the time.
Yeah, all the time, nonstop. At least probably about 6:30 in the morning, the developers from the night before getting ready to get off. Then working with them all day long. And then I was telling her last night, I'm like, I feel like I got this done, that done, this done, that's done. And you know, I've been watching Chef Ramsay lately, getting ready to, she says, you want to go watch TV for a little bit? I went and cooked up some hibachi rice last night. And I was like, oh my God, I got like 20 minutes before the team comes on again. Like, it is just non-stop. So the reason why you're seeing updates as much as you are, like, did you all see the big updates on the dashboard this week? So what I'm trying to do, and I got your mobile, Jim. We're testing out that mobile thing. But the updates on the dashboard were huge. And the reason why is because it's a show. Does everybody, like, that's your first impression, the dashboard. So when you open up a dashboard and you see that there's lead steps and there's bridge pages and there's PopLinks and there's traffic blasts and there's special offers and there's snippets, you go, my God, this tool for an affiliate does everything. And that dashboard becomes like the focal point of the webinar. Is that making sense? Now I'm here to tell you, besides the funnel direction that we're going and the AI direction that we're going, we have a pretty good base. Does everybody understand? PopLinks will stop at the affiliate level platform. Does that make sense? That's where it will stop. Now, what happens is, and I've talked about this just so you understand, and I am so excited to share the new GC with you and all the time, effort, and the investment, and everything that we have put into that. I had a developer I invited to be on the call last week because I said, you know, I want to make you an admin. I want to make you an organizer, and I want you to see, the customers, and I want you to see how important your work is to them. And I made him an admin, and he just sat there and he got off that call. He said, oh, sir, I understand now. I completely understand. Like, you put a lot of work into this. Yeah, we do, right? So now he understands that I have brought all the developers on at one point. You may not have known it, but I've invited them in one by one to be on these calls so that they can understand that what they're doing is extremely important, right? So the work that they have put in with GC, I tell you, I got to give myself a lot of credit. And it's probably because Perry kept me so damn busy all the time that I didn't have time to like be on their butts all the time. So I kind of left them alone for about 2 months, brought in that just amazing rock star developer, and he really dove in, understood everything, said, okay, here's where we went wrong, here, we got to put this in place, got to put that in place, and is just at a whole new level that I've never seen before. So when GC rolls out again, you're going to be like, is this even the same platform? Is this, how is it now? I can not only get the name, but I can get the email, and I can fire off a tag over here, and I can do this, and I can, like, you will be blown away with it, right? So it'll definitely be worth the wait. And we got very clear on how PopLinks, QuizForma, Revolver, pretty much anything I want to build. There was a little bit of confusion on, well, what if somebody doesn't understand tags? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you understand the tags now? A tags is a trigger that performs integrations. How well do you understand that? Honestly, how well? We got 10, 10, 9, 10, 8, 5, 8. Okay, so this is a thing. If you're in, if you know, you know. If you know how to set up a tag, then would you agree that on all of our software, when you fire off a tag, you know what it's going to do? Is that a fair statement? Is that a fair statement? Once GC becomes your baby and we're just building software and letting you fire off tags and here and there and tag, you know exactly how to handle the follow-up and drop into pipelines and do all of that stuff, okay? But what about the people that don't? What about the people that are brand new and they're like, you know, I heard you could be successful setting up quizzes on Pinterest, and they go and they buy QuizForma. What about them? Well, where we had to get very clear, and what's going to happen is I'm about to change all of your settings in PopLinks. How many of you are using tags? How many of you are using direct integrations to PopLinks? Which one are you using? Tags or direct integrations? So we got tags, both, direct, tags. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We are going to sunset. Does everybody know what sunset means? We are going to sunset the direct integrations from PopLinks, and we're going to move that integration over to GC. But your setting will be the same inside the software. It's just we're going to move your username, password, and everything for that integration to where it's now inside of GC. Does that make sense? So everything will still be set up properly. It's just it won't be living on PopLinks anymore. It'll be living in GC. And what that allows you to do is when you go get QuizForma, you're already set up with ActiveCampaign, Aweber, Go High Level, whatever you want to do, because you've already set it up. Okay, so we're going to be sunsetting that direct integration that is living inside of PopLinks right now, and moving everything to GC. You won't need to do anything. You won't even know. You wouldn't have known if I hadn't told you. Okay, so now when somebody comes and buys the software, I'll show you the screen here in a minute. They're going to go and they're going to click on integrations, and they're going to, if they want to do ActiveCampaign, they're going to click on ActiveCampaign, and maybe they've already entered it before inside of GC or another software. But if they haven't, they're going to enter it. Now, as soon as they put in their username and their password or whatever ActiveCampaign requires, they are now connected inside of global control for any piece of software. Does that make sense? And so what we're going to do is we're going to have, like with any software out there, where usually they let you say, okay, when you get a new lead, put it in this list. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take your credentials that you have with GC, and we're going to let you put it in a list. So with QuizForma, you can put in a list for people who are qualified, disqualified, just standard submissions. Okay, well, we're just going to let you choose a list. So that way, it's easy for anybody coming in. But for those of you that are really advanced, for those of you that understand GC, if somebody chooses this option on the quiz, fire off this tag. If somebody is qualified and they gave the phone number, fire off this tag. If somebody's qualified with no phone number, fire off this tag. If somebody's disqualified, fire off this tag. Is that making sense to everybody? So, just like LCS, yeah. So we're finally where it is we need to be, right? We're finally there. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing some of those screens. Also, how many of you? It's not done yet. I'm just kind of brainstorming with it. How many of you would kind of like to see the direction that we're going with the new webinar, so you understand the things that we're going to be showcasing? How many of you would like to see that? Okay. I'm also going to show you what we're doing with GC. Okay. See what Chris is saying? Reminds me of what you were doing with that platform. Connie and I were just on this mastermind call, and everybody on the mastermind call was so excited with a certain platform because of everything that it does with not only the funnels, but the surveys and the pipeline and everything else. I told her, I said, you know what? I built this 7 years ago. Everything they did, I built it 7 years ago. Is that true, Herbert? Have you seen the similarities? 7 years ago. And they pretty much, see what he said? How many of you know exactly what it is I'm talking about? They pretty much took everything that I created. If you know what that platform is, type that in the chat there and let me know. 7 years ago, it was 2010, 2011, right? Look at this, 2010, 2011. Everything that's in that platform, we built. Everything. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. So everybody that is saying those 3 letters, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. Okay, so the thing is, I'm not going to mention that too much because there's a bunch of lawsuits going around and everything else happening. And this guy is mad at this guy and this guy is mad at this guy. And you can't import in our pages. And there's just all kinds of stuff happening, right? So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I've already been in one lawsuit for the last 3 years. Wasn't my fault, but I don't want to get in another one. So let me go ahead and start with, where should we, oh, and by the way, so how many of you have been seeing what Connie's been doing? You got more coming today too, don't you?
I think you got like 4 more.
How many of you have been seeing what she's been doing? How many of you are impressed? Very impressed with what she's doing. If you don't know where to go, matter of fact, let me share my screen here. Somebody's saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, let me go ahead and share this with you because I want you to see how easy you can do this. Can you see my screen right now? If you go to marketinginsider.io, you'll see this pretty page right here, and you can watch this video and you can see what it is she is doing. How many of you have seen this page before? Okay, so when we come over here, if I do this right, if I say yes, I want what it is she has. If I come over here and if I do this, we're going to go ahead and redirect directly to the Google Doc. Now, you got to update this Google Doc today, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do that today.
Okay, now notice we have a pop link here, folks. So this pop link, how many of you have that link memorized? Who has this link memorized? I'll tell you, whenever I do a project, I will go create pop links for that project. Like her project consists of spreadsheets. It consists of Google Docs. It's going to consist of an Airtable, okay? It consists of all these things. And so what I do, I'll go create pop links so that we can very easily get to those projects. Scale of 1 to 10, does everybody understand that right now? So this link right here takes you back into the Google Doc. And that is, how many of you think that this is way easy to remember? And it's easy for us to remember too, versus the link that Google is going to give you, right? If I copy this link, if I type up here, look at this link. How many of you are going to remember this link? Nobody's going to remember this link. And not only that, all the Google links look the same. So why not create a pop link, put that on your Google Doc, and inside the video, you told them that they can use that link, right?
Yes, they don't have to use a username or password. Just go to the link and it'll take you there.
Inside that video, she said you can always get back to the Google Doc from this link here. Is that making sense to everybody? Okay, so now there's this video, and by the way, nothing fancy, no green screen or nothing else. She just shot it from the car, which is good because it's real, right? How many of you have seen this video? Has everybody seen this video? Okay, good. Wow, they've already seen the video.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so look, you can't play a video in a Google Doc. So if we click this, then what happens is it redirects them over here to this page. And what do we have here, folks? What do we have here? We have another pop link. Now what needs to happen, and she'll probably do it today, is we need to put together a survey to find out what it is you're interested, what kind of experience do you have? And so we'll create that community based on that survey. Is this making sense to everybody? And so now what happens is we got too much going on. Now we can't keep up with it, right? So now that we have a process down, let me see if I can come in here. I want to show you something very quickly. Okay. Do you remember what these details are to get in here? Is it your address?
Yeah, the JW.
Okay. Is it just a normal?
I think so.
No.
Let's see.
Hold on just a second. I want to show you something. You gave it to me the other day, though.
Did I? Maybe I reset it.
Can you find that for me? So here's, while she's looking for that right now, we weren't really prepared for that all that much. Yeah, while she's looking for that right now, here's the thing, okay? What if I told you that I don't even know, let me try over here. I don't even know how many, yeah, she's gonna give that to me here in a second. I don't even know how many applications we got, okay? But here's what happens. If I were to come over here and if I were to open up, let me see. Let me open up something for you really quick, okay? I want you all to understand something real fast. What's that one room called? Okay, this room right here, drop shipping. Okay. So this room right here, you can see that today, 6:26 a.m., we got a developer. Can everybody see this on the screen right now? Let me know if you can see this. Okay, so we have a staff member that this is a Facebook Marketplace store. We're just kind of playing with it right now. But you can see that there was 3 orders that were received. So we fulfilled the 3 orders, we loaded tracking for them, and then we found 20 new items and we listed 20 new items, and that's it. It'll run on its own. Now, somebody tell me how much we are paying that staff member. Any guesses? How much per hour do you think that staff member costs? Art says $8 an hour. Jesus says 12. Or no, you said no idea. 12. Keep going. Keep going. I believe that outsourcer started at $3 an hour, and I think she's now at $4. $3 an hour. I think she's now at $4. Here's what you need to understand. This is what you want to do, okay? You want to take a strategy that I give you or somebody else gives you. You want to learn it so well that the wool can't be pulled over your eyes. Does that make sense? So right now, I learned development so well that I don't really have to manage things anymore. I have to be the visionary, and I have to make sure I get my daily updates every single day. It'll run itself. Same thing with this outsourcing. Because we learned it so well ourselves, we know how to do tracking, we know how to find items, we know the top selling items, we know everything about it. There's nothing the outsourcer can do that's going to fool us. Well, guess what? Now we're to the point where there's so much that has to be done here. Number one, and look, here's the thing, man, she's got a small window. She's got a very small window to do this. And the reason why is because this comes from OpenAI. This is Elon Musk and the team, right? But now Amazon has their amazing Glory AI coming out. Facebook has their Meta AI coming out. And Google has their Bard AI coming out, right? So everybody has their own AI platforms coming out. And if you read between the lines, OpenAI is probably the one that's going to go to the wayside. And the reason why is because Google understands how people search, and their AI is going to be up to date, right? So they not only understand how people search, but everything's up to date. Facebook understands how people engage, right? Amazon, I don't know where they come in, but those two platforms right there, that's a huge, they got massive leverage over OpenAI, right? So here's what you have to think about. See, she has to move. Do you guys understand this? She has the ability to go out there and build up a massive following on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, but she has to move. The opportunity will not be there long, because before we know it, and they're already out there, they're already in beta testing and everything. Before we know it, people are not going to be searching for ChatGPT anymore. They're going to be searching for Morning Glory. They're going to be searching for Bard. So another great opportunity, but she's in at the ground level. And if she keeps doing this, she can build a huge following. And from there, that following, she is able to monetize. Scale of 1 to 10, does everybody understand this? So the thing is, if what you're doing is working and what she's doing is clearly working, but she's not able to keep up with it because she has a full-time job and everything else, and there's a lot. If we look at this, just right off the top of my head, number one, we have to come up with the concept. We have to come up with a hook. We have to come up with a prompt, okay? Number two, we have to write that script really fast for her to shoot the beginning and the end part of the video, okay? Number three, she's got to sit down, learn or teach the prompt to where we have that tutorial video, right? Number four, she takes the middle piece, she combines it with her phone footage. So now she has something that's ready to go out there on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever else. But she has to now go out there and syndicate it to those platforms. Then she takes the tutorial, she mails it to her list, okay? And then from there, she adds it to the Google Doc. Now, how many of you would agree that there is a process? Does everybody see the process? There's a process, right? So right now, my partner Perry is so excited with something. He told me, go hire somebody to do this thing, right? Okay, so I went and hired them. And now I'm trying to work with the developer, but he's frustrated with me because we don't have a process down, folks. So I'm trying to build the process with him. And he's going, well, we haven't got anything done for 2 days. Am I getting paid for this? You're just kind of tinkering around because you didn't know what you wanted, right? So you have to learn it yourself. If you learn it yourself, you can put together a process. And then from there, what I recommend that you take out something like Loom, okay? And you record tutorial videos. And then when you hire somebody, did you figure it out?
I zoomed it to you.
When you hire somebody for just $3 an hour, which I'm going to show you right now, I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on how that works, because I know Perry promised to do that. Perry's not the one that does that stuff. I'm the one that does that stuff. So let me kind of show you here, okay? So if I log in here, this is Connie's account. Okay, so if we come over here to look at this here, looking for social media assistant. Okay, 73 proposals, folks. 73 proposals. Now, for this one right here, you can see if I view job post, I can't remember what I did. Let's see. $3 an hour. I said 3 to 3. That's it. And here's the thing. It's not that I won't raise them. It's not that I'm trying to be cheap. It's number one, this is easy work. And number two, I want to be able to gradually increase them when they're doing good. So inside of my training, I talked a lot. Can you see what that's about? I don't know what she's saying there. I talked a lot about being able to hire developers. Okay. Here's something very, very valuable to you. Number one, you don't do this until you know the process yourself. Number two, you don't do this till you actually have a process. Don't just hear an idea and say, oh my God, I can make so much money with that, and go hire somebody until you know the process. Does everybody understand that right now? So if you open up a Google Sheet, if you open up a Google Doc, if you open up draw.io, if you open up Airtable, whatever you're using, create that process, okay? That's the first thing. All right. The second thing is, where most people get this wrong is they are going to weed out the diamonds in the roughs, the people that probably are going to surprise you. Every single one of my developers now are at least at $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Would it surprise you that some of them were hired for $5 an hour? And I'm going to tell you why. There's two things. Number one, it's their location in the world that is stopping them from getting hired. Everybody thinks you can't hire an Indian developer, you're going to get garbage. That could not be further from the truth. I think all my guys are top developers right now, but the brains behind PopLinks, the lead developer is out of India. So how is it we created an amazing platform with a top-tiered Indian developer when everybody else says, oh, it's garbage, you can't create this in India? No, it's not true. It's absolutely not true, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing, if I come in here and if I look at all these proposals, there's 73 proposals. Look, see this right here? 0 earned, 0 earned, 0 earned, 0 earned. $40 earned, $2K earned, $10K earned, $3K earned. Now, how many of you are willing to give somebody a shot that has 0 earned? Who's willing to do that? Most people won't. If you go through a training, most people will tell you, make sure you stick with somebody that has had a lot of work, has made a lot of money, 100% success rate, and great reviews. Here's what I will tell you. Don't go with somebody that has bad reviews. But don't stop just because somebody hasn't had a chance. Because let me tell you something about this. Here's a YouTube channel manager for $3 an hour. Let me tell you something about this. She is probably willing to bust ass to get a great review from me. See? She is probably willing to bust ass. And let me tell you what else I've discovered. Just because she is $3 an hour does not mean she is the equivalent of somebody that's at $25 an hour. Is that making sense to everybody? How many of you getting a scale of 1 to 10? Here's where I'm most excited. So Perry and I have a difference in opinions. He thinks that we need to go out there and only hire people that have great reviews that are $20, $25 an hour. So guess what? I did that. And what we did was we went and first hired a manager, a project manager, and we told her, we want you to hire your own team because Chad's too busy. He's got the software, he's got this, he's got that. We want you to hire and manage your own team. So if you need to hire somebody great, if you need to fire somebody great, we want you to do that. Total flop, y'all. We hired her. She hired 4 people. She couldn't even get people to show up for work. Total flop at $20 to $25 an hour for media buyers, copywriters, everything we were trying to do. I totally flopped. And I left and I put my head down. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I've never failed with this once. Why did I fail? And then I realized it. I'm like, you know what? Whenever I do this, I hire my own people. I build relationships with them. I encourage them. I supervise them. I make them follow a process. And I didn't have that. Instead, we went and hired her, and she was supposed to hire her own people. So now I've gone back to him and I'm saying, you know what? Here's the thing. What if we went and just hired 10 people at $3 an hour with the ability to grow to that $15, $20 mark and let me do my magic. Let me take my processes. Let me teach them Chat GPT. Let me teach them how to do video syndication. Let me teach them how to do video editing. Let me teach them how to write emails. Let me find those people that want to prove themselves at $3 an hour. Now, how many of you are going, oh my God, this is such a breath of fresh air. Like, you're telling me that once I get my process dialed in, once I do what Connie's doing, or once I do this or that, or whatever it is you're doing, that I can go hire somebody for $3 an hour? Well, folks, I have 72 proposals here for you. 72 proposals. And so what happens is I'll go through, I'll look at her, I'll look at where she's at. I have a hard time working with anybody in China. I can't understand them, but I'm great with the Philippines. I'm great with Bangladesh. I'm great with Pakistan. I'm great with Tunisia. I'm great with Ukraine. I haven't tried to do Mexico yet. I'd really like to try to do Mexico. But this girl right here, she's at $5 an hour. She's only earned 20 bucks. But this girl right here, she's at $3 an hour. So I can click inside of here. I can see the message here. And a lot of times I can go down and I can see her previous marks. I can see what people have said. Okay. So she was a text message operator. Now, most of the time, these people have hidden skills. Does that make sense? So what do I want? Well, number one, I want somebody that has a good attitude. Number two, I want somebody who's going to show up every day. So I tell them, as a matter of fact, I can show you here. Just inside of the developer room, there's two things that I am after, okay? So let me see if I can show you here. Where is that at? Yeah, okay. You can see just this morning, I came in here 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, good morning. Everybody said, good morning, sir. Morning, sir. Morning, sir. Morning, good morning. Good morning. Good. Okay. So I will meet with everybody inside of my Zoom channel. I got a guy that I'm paying right now $3 an hour. And all he's been doing is going through and creating affiliate links for our properties at $3 an hour, guys. So how does that work? Well, if you look over here, I've got everything he needs. I created a spreadsheet for him, and look at that. I made a pop link out of it. And then I have a Google Doc here, and I should have made a pop link out of this one. Okay. So if I open this up, he is trained. He knows that he's going to go through. There's 10,000 links here, and he's going to go and click on each and every one of these links, and he's going to sign up to be an affiliate for these 10,000 links. So how many of you are starting to see the process already? But if I come back over here, you're going, my God, there's a lot of information that he would have to fill out, right? Yeah, there is. So what happens was Chad went and created all of that information ahead of time. Everything that he could possibly need to go and sign up to be an affiliate, it's all here. Everything's here. Every possible question that came up, we found answers for it. Everything we could need to where he now has a process and he can run on his own, and he can go out there and he can set up these links. That's just one process, folks. And if I come over here and if I look at this, you're going to see that there is rooms all over the place here. And every single one of these rooms has a process. And they all follow it. So you can't go out there. Let me get off this screen. This is an old screen. You're not able to go out there and you're not able to hire somebody until you have that process. Okay. Now, let me say this too. How many of you are wondering why I have 73 proposals? Most people are going to teach you this, are going to weed out the process. They're going to weed out the people. You know why? It's going to be right here. The description. Look at my description, folks. Looking for somebody who wants to take our videos out of Google Drive and post them in various social media platforms, update a sheet in Google Doc. I need her for this right away, so please bid and then message me. And then the requirements are YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Google Sheets, Splice, Camtasia. That's it. Now, here's what happens. Most people screw this up and they will weed out anybody that probably would have done well for you because they're going to intimidate them. Here's how this works. We are looking for a qualified individual that is willing to work 40 hours on Pacific Standard Time. We are a company of 20 plus years. We have 100 employees, and there is tremendous room for growth. We follow an agile process. We expect you to be on time. We expect you to keep the Trello board up to date. We expect this. We expect that. We expect this. We expect that. Blah, 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 blah. And what happens? You became this big company. And number one, anybody that's going to quote you goes, oh, big company, they have money. And number two, the little guy goes, I don't stand a chance because I don't have any feedback. I'm living in Bangladesh. This guy is not going to give me a chance. Scale of 1 to 10, is everybody getting this right now? So what happens? I come off light. I come off like I'm new. I come off like I'm not a company. I'm just Chad, right? Looking for somebody who wants to take our videos out of Google Drive. I didn't get into specifics. I didn't say we're going to create a PopLinks for you, and then you're going to do this, and you're going to mark this off. I don't need to do that, okay? Looking for somebody that wants to take our videos and put them out there on TikTok, Facebook, you know, let me know. Message me. I want to hire right now. How many of you can do this? Now, does she have to be 40 hours a week? How many hours do you think somebody needs to do this for you every day, Connie?
Honestly, I would probably take just a couple hours a day. It's not going to take all day long, no way.
3 or 4 hours keeps her pumping out videos every single day, because if she is not doing that, she is losing the opportunity. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it for her to find this person. So now there's 73 proposals for her to go through. So you will hear people tell you, you can't find quality people on Upwork, go buy this platform, go buy this. You can't find people in India, you can't work with people in Pakistan, all the people that are telling you this don't actually do it, folks. I do this. I do this. How incredible was it to work with Charmaine?
Charmaine was amazing. Oh my God, I love her. I miss her.
Yeah, she was like $3 an hour.
Yeah. She was so good. Smart. She got it right away. She was so fast. So fast.
It was an easy process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy. And we made the mistake of connecting her with one of my clients. And my client he was so busy with her, and they worked out so good. I said, you know what? Just take over the payment for her. Pay her $5 an hour or whatever, and you're gold. And she's still doing it for him. She's still doing it for him, right? So could we have built a whole entire agency out of that? 100%. We really could have. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how many of you are now comfortable going out there and actually hiring somebody to help you? Actually hiring somebody to put together your process every day. So if you can get to the point, let's look at the video thing. If you can get to the point where you're shooting a video every day, and you know it's got to go on TikTok, it's got to go on Instagram, it's got to go on Facebook, it's got to go on a Google Doc or in the members area, it's got to go on YouTube, but you know you're not going to be able to get all that done. The question becomes, is it going to hurt you not getting it done? Because if it's going to hurt you, then you need to find somebody to make sure it can get done. Is that making sense? So don't think you have to pay a lot. It's been my experience the guys and girls that want to prove themselves are the ones that are going to shine for you. They are going to shine. Okay. So how was that, Dr. Jim? You're the one that said Perry promises this. Did I deliver on that? Is that good? And by the way, so when I find somebody I'm interested in, I will message them. And there's two things that I want to know. How many of you know what those two things are? I'll just come over here and I'll message them. Okay. But how many of you know what those two things are? Here's Charmaine right here. So it was April that we hired her. Okay, she did a great job. And then is it Rosemary? Carolyn. We just hired Carolyn. When was that? January. Here's the two things I want to know, folks. Number one, this is what I can pay you starting out. Is that acceptable? I had a guy last night. I was so excited with him. I'm having to embark on this new journey that I don't know much about. And this guy came back and he bid $6 an hour. I was like, dude, two questions. Number one, can you work my time zone? I start 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, goes to about 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. But we need to talk about wage. Hold on. You're the one that put in the proposal. You said $6 an hour. Yeah. But I wanted to talk to you first. I'm out. That's the first red flag. You can't keep your word. You made an agreement. You said, I want to do this. Now you're wasting my time. I'm out. I'm already out. So the two things that I want to agree on. Number one, can you work my hours? You're going to find out talking through if they're a good fit. Connie will jump on a call with them because she's the one that works with these outsourcers. So she'll make sure that she understands them. And I have a thing with energy. There's certain people I can't be around. I can sniff you out a mile away. I'm like, I want nothing to do with that person over there. I can't. Their energy, just something about them I don't like. And then there's people that I am instantly drawn to. We're going to hit it off great. Perry was one of them, real fast, right? So she gets on the call, make sure that the energy is good, make sure she can communicate. Great. You'll find out, not even getting on the call, but just messaging if somebody's a good fit, if they have a good attitude. So the two things, number one, do you agree to my wage? Number two, do you agree to my hours? Can you start tomorrow? That's it. Hire fast, fire fast. Now, what I have found is that when you have your processes down, you don't really have to do that much firing. You don't have to do that much firing. Okay. Any questions on that? Any questions at all? We have an update. I'm going to go into the updates now, the direction that we're going. We have an update now that we're testing at this very time. I don't put anything out there till we have tested the heck out of this thing. So I'm going to kind of show you how this works. This is something that I see. Over here, I'm going to create categories. So we might have a category called online marketing. By the way, this is the first time I've done this. So I'm going to add a category. And then what's going to happen is we're going to add a subcategory, right? So the subcategory, we can say is email marketing. All right. Now, I'm going to be able to add as many categories and subcategories as I choose. And then what's going to happen, folks, is we're going to come over here and I'm going to load spreadsheets. and we are just going to go through and pump out these headlines for you. So remember, I'm going to show you what this looks like here on the webinar in just a second. But let me go ahead and see if I can show you this test here that we're doing. And this is how this is going to work. Okay. So everybody is kind of familiar with the global editor. You haven't seen this yet, Connie. Okay. Everybody's familiar with the global editor. Okay. So let's see if we can get this to go. Hold on a minute. Okay. So the global editor opens up over here. Now, notice this thing right here that says headline generator. Okay. If I click that, it's going to open up. Hold on a second. Oh, you know what? I already passed it. Let's try it again. I want to start from the beginning, please. Okay. So there's the headline generator. I open it up. If I click that now, it's going to take me to a new section. Now, from here, this won't appear yet. You'll choose your category. You'll choose your subcategory. And then what's going to happen is we're going to give you all these headlines that you can go through and you can just inject, right? So you can see that this was the original headline that we started with. And now what happens is we have new headlines here. And what you're going to do is you're going to choose the one you want, and it's going to inject into the page. And then from there, you can see that now that new headline is on all the pages. The reason why I'm most excited about this, okay, if we come over here, you're going to see he's showing you, yeah, all the headlines are here, okay. He's going to do it again, inject headline. Okay, there you go. All right. Does everybody kind of understand how this is working? Now, the reason why is because down here at the bottom, notice that we have this new button that says regenerate. And what's going to happen with regenerate is when you click that button, folks, AI is going to go and it's going to rewrite all of these headlines for you. So I'm giving you somewhere to start with. Does that make sense? So you'll click regenerate, you'll have new headlines. If you don't like those, you'll click regenerate, you'll have new headlines. You don't like those, you click regenerate, you'll have new headlines. So now we're starting to bring AI into everything that we're doing. Okay, scale of 1 to 10, is everybody getting this right now? But it gets even better than that, right? Because this is the other thing that we are in the process of doing right now. I don't even know my camera was on. Everybody's able to see the screen, right? Okay, cool. So let me show you what else we're going to be demonstrating on that webinar, okay? So if I bring this window over here, you're going to see that when I click on this element here, this box appears. Now, how many of you know what this is? That's the AI logo. So when I click this section over here is going to open up. And what I'm able to do is, if I don't like this, if I click this, then it's going to go through and it's going to rewrite this for me. And now if I don't like this one, I can flip through and I can see number 2, I can flip through, I can see number 3, I can flip through. If I don't like all 5, I click regenerate and it's going to do it again. So we're able to do that for every single piece of text that we see on this page, including the bullets, including the paragraph. Pretty much everything can be rewritten with AI, folks. This is the direction that we're going. Now, once I get my head wrapped around the prompts and everything that's going to rewrite this for you the best, once I do that, then the next thing is, folks, I will find a way, because right now I honestly don't know how to do it. And the reason why is because AI really snuck up on us. So the problem is, I would like to find a way just to go through, is this the right account, and create the whole entire page for you from the start. But the reason why I don't know how to do that is because we don't have save buttons in our software. And that's the reason why I'm making the AI generate over here, and you're clicking a button, because as soon as it gets added over here, it's automatically saved. Does that make sense? Okay, now that is just a start. If you've been watching Connie's video, then you would understand. How many of you are learning from watching her videos about turning stuff into spreadsheets and the way that you talk to it and the way that you prompt it and the way you ask it? Do you understand? Well, everything that ChatGPT is doing, that's part of OpenAI, which means I can also build it into this software. So if you wanted to say, rewrite this bullet in the voice of Perry Belcher, then you should be able to do that. But that will be our second or third phase. Is this making sense to everybody? So be looking for, there's actually a couple things to be looking for. Be looking for the AI tests that are popping up. Also be looking for, there's one update that I turned off, and that was the ability to clone these elements and move them up and down, because we ran into a problem. And I said, okay, we have to move away from this because this is taking too much time. It's a big loser. We need a win. So give me a win. So the headline thing was a big win right now. Because what happens is, especially with development, you'll get to the point where you'll get stuck on something. And what happens is, you know, after 2 or 3 days of being stuck on the same thing, it starts to bring down the momentum and the morale. So I have to make the decision. I'd say, okay, you know what? We really need that update, but for right now, shelf it. That doesn't mean we're not going to do it, but just put it aside right now and let's do something that's going to work, right? So we come back around, we get the win, we get the incentive, and then usually what happens is there's a new idea that comes up, says, you know what? Let's go back to that now that we've had some time away, and now that the momentum's back up, I think I might have a solution, and then we'll figure out how the solution is. How many of you can relate to that? So the software clearly is my business, okay, but think about that in your business. Think about when you get stuck, okay, how many of you have been stuck? If you get stuck and at the same time you feel the momentum going down, you start getting frustrated, the first thing you need to do is say, how do I get a win? How do I get a win? Not just take a walk, not just take a breather. That's amazing advice. That's the first thing Alan Miller would tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is, damn, this sucks. This does not feel good. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. I'm not getting anywhere. Okay, so we own that. But now what can we do to get a win? What can we do to get a win? It might be a different project. It might, whatever. But when the production starts to go down, when you get stuck, when things are sucking, when things aren't working, it happens like this. And what happens is you just give up and you're down here. And then one day you watch a webinar or whatever, you're like, you know what, I want to go try that again. And instead of doing down here, you used to say, okay, what can I do right here at this level that's going to feel good? That's going to make me, when I go to bed tonight, I'm like, that was a win. That was a win. Because, and it goes back to what I'm saying again. What are the bare minimal steps necessary to get the desired results? I'm going to say it again. What are the bare minimal steps necessary to get the desired result? That's getting your win, folks. Don't try to figure everything out. Figure out enough to get that initial win, because when you get the win, the momentum becomes this big. Can you imagine if, how many of you noticed that on the Google Doc, we didn't have the real video there? On the landing page, we didn't have a video. How many of you saw that? Right. Why would I have her go do that when she's not getting views, she's not getting engagement, she's not getting comments? Would that make any sense, folks? So what was the, is it this right here? What was the bare minimum steps required to get the win? Now, how many times have you posted those videos on Instagram?
The ones that I've been doing?
Yeah.
I haven't posted any other videos on Instagram.
YouTube?
Not yet.
LinkedIn?
No. TikTok.
TikTok. Did you even create the accounts on Instagram?
I did.
YouTube? When did you do that?
I did one yesterday. I did one the other day.
But wait a minute. These videos are super old. They're like 2 weeks old.
Well, yeah, I didn't have my accounts ready.
She didn't have her accounts ready. How many of you are paying attention to what we're saying here? What was the bare minimum necessary to get the win? Let's take the video. Let's put it on TikTok. Don't worry about YouTube. Don't worry about Instagram. Don't worry about LinkedIn. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about putting the video on the Google Doc. Don't worry about putting the video on the landing page. Don't worry about none of that stuff. So what happens? The third video that you put on YouTube, we were sitting, or on TikTok, we were sitting here that night. You're like, oh my God, I just got like 200 views in like 10 minutes. Yep. And then when you went to bed, there was like another 400 views and it started taking off. So what happened? Whoa, wait a minute. This feels good. That's a win. All right, let's take this serious. You ready to do this now? Yep, now she's ready because now it's high momentum, like something's working. All right, let's go create those accounts. I need you to shoot a video. You can do it in your car if you want to. That's what I told her, so that we have it on the landing page. I need you to shoot a video for the Google Doc. And now let's go hire somebody to help you do all of these things. Is everybody getting this right now? I'm going to say it again. The bare minimum necessary to get the desired results. So everything we're doing here, folks, you're going to find a process. You will find a process. I went and added like patterns and stuff to it. You probably didn't notice, right? You will find a process to everything. We're cloning the same bridge pages, the same elements from the bridge pages. We're using the same comments down below. Well, you got a lot of comments you got to respond to.
Oh, wow.
You know they'll keep coming in, right? Because the same comments are on all the pages.
Right.
Right? How many of you are seeing this work? Now, what's cool is somebody new coming in sees the syndicate here. They don't know that's the syndicate. They don't know. They just like, oh my God, everybody loves her videos. This girl's on fire. This girl's on fire. But it wasn't worth us doing all that work. It wasn't worth us doing all that effort if the strategy wasn't going to work. It feels horrible to do all that work and then nothing comes of it. How many of you have ever experienced what I just said? I did all that work for nothing. Who can relate to that? I did all that work for nothing. Okay. I'm trying to teach you the solution around that. What if you identified the bare minimal steps necessary to get that win? What if that's all you had to do, folks? That win could be a sale. That win could be your first subscriber. That win could be your first view. That win could be your first video going viral. Whatever your win is, okay? That's how I want you to start thinking. So the other thing that I wanted to show you, I was super excited That day, I know that there was some drama going down and everything else. I understood what Dr. Jim meant when he said, I don't appreciate it or whatever he said. I think he more said, I don't understand it. I've been wanting, as stupid as it sounds, I've been wanting these rounded corners for a while now. And so if you come down here to the corner radius, if you're on the page background, you can go ahead and add those corners here. Does that make sense? That's thought it was going to. Okay. All right. Let me show you some of the things that we're doing inside of QuizForma. One thing that is super exciting for QuizForma, I nailed it with LCS, but we're going to do better now, is the qualifications. So depending on how, and when you understand how the tags and everything works, then you have these power types here. And so this is a power type. So when something's a power type, I'm going to be able to fire off a tag. I'm going to be able to disqualify based on how they answer. Okay. So obviously with a tag, I'm able to, that's a GC tag. This person's disqualified, so they need to go this direction instead of this direction. And then we also have something over here called jump logic. So if there's three options here, so if somebody answers with option number 1, then go ahead and send them over here to this question. Or I have what are called hidden questions. So go ahead and send them to a hidden question, which is not part of the survey. Does that make sense? It's definitely the best job I've done on a survey tool. But you also have intro and exit screens. So what I'm most excited about is you can have a message pop up, or you can send them to a custom URL. Now, over here, this is going to determine what type of exit is this. Notice up here, somebody is just a standard submission, then send them over here. If somebody's qualified, then go ahead and show this, and we're going to have it where it pulls a score, and that means that you're this. And, okay, everything that you saw with LCS, we're going to do that. I can put a video here if I want to, or I can send them to a different URL. Okay, but if I'm disqualified, how about if I just send them to my website? Okay, I was the first one to come up with all this years ago with a platform called Survey. And everybody's kind of ripped me off since then, but we're going to do things a little bit different here. So notice over here, I have my 3 question types: standard, qualified, disqualified, which is this right here. But what if I told you I could then say, okay, this question right here, what is your favorite color? If this was blue, red, and this one. All right. Now that I've done that, when I come back over here to the exit, based on this answer, what is your favorite color? Notice I have blue, green, red, and pink. So not only can I fire off a different tag for each one of these, but based on how people, what answer they're choosing for this one question, I can then redirect them based on their answer. Is that making sense to everybody? There's one more that we're going to do, and that's going to be based on points. But the main reason why I'm showing you this is because I want to make sure that everybody believes that this is very easy to follow. Would everybody agree that this is super easy to follow? So now, let me show you 2 more things, and then I'm going to show you the webinar, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay? this right here is how this one's going to work, okay? So when you're inside of QuizForma or when you're inside of PopLinks and you click on integrations, you'll have a drop-down menu here and you can search. And all of these integrations come out of PopLink, or I'm sorry, they come out of GC. Is everybody understanding that? So even if you're familiar with GC and you know how to set up the tags and everything, even if you're inside the software and you click on get response and you set up get response, you're setting it up inside of GC. Is that making sense? This is very important, folks. This is where I told you we're going to override what's happening in PopLinks with the same kind of screen, but we're going to save your details inside of PopLinks. And then this is how all the software will be. That's how all the software will be. So if I show you this one, there's one more thing that I want to show you so that you understand. This guy right here, I did not load, but let me find it real fast. This guy right here is probably going to make the most sense out of you. And QuizForma is a complicated thing because of all the possibilities that we have with it. Okay, but let me find that screen. And I'm going to show you. Okay, is it this one? Let me see if it's this one. I don't think it's this one. Open. Hold on a second. It's not that one. I'm getting close though. It is. It's this one. Okay. Yeah. So this screen right here, once you have set up your integrations, you have standard, qualified, disqualified. Well, if you just want to do a direct integration and you want to choose your integration and your account and this and that, you're able to do it. Or you're able to fire off a tag when somebody is a standard submission with no phone number. Or when they give you the phone number, you're able to fire off a tag. Or if somebody's qualified, you're able to fire off a tag or do a direct integration. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, what's cool is the thing with the tags is something that you'll enable. So that way, if you picture that if there's no tags here, then it's going to be very normal for people to come in here and just do the direct integrations like they're used to doing. Make sense? And there will be pipelines in GC. We've already got it, Craig. We're just kind of redoing everything. Okay? So now is everybody seeing how all of this is tying together? Finally, everything is starting to tie together, right? So there's one more thing that I want to show you. And I want to show you the direction that everything is going. This was one thing that I have been trying to get to. You're going to see a whole new setup inside of automations. And the reason why is, number one, I like this look. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot more professional. When we have our agency version, your clients are going to be much more happy with it. But this window over here opens up. Therefore, I have this whole entire canvas area here, and I want to have decision points or diamonds that go this way or go this way. And so what you'll see with the Pro version is not only will you have email, not only will you have text, but you'll also have your list of integrations that you've already set up, and you'll be able to drag your integrations in as well. All of this is built already. Now we are just testing it all out. But I'm here to tell you folks that I'm not just throwing stuff together. I want it to look beautiful. Does that make sense? And in order to do that, it requires me doing things myself. Okay, so now that you've kind of seen everything and how it works, if I were to come over here and if I were to share this with you, you're going to kind of see the direction that we are going with this webinar. So I'm still going to show three things. Number one, how to create a two-step and a bridge page in under 60 seconds. Number two, how to create simple little pop links. And number three, how to take these pages to instantly build a list and get leads and sales. And we've got some updates happening there as well. Okay, so it's going to be standard. And I'm going to say, how many of you want your dashboard to look like this, right? Well, you're going to witness this live on the call. I'm also going to do a live demo of lead steps, bridge pages, special offers, and page snippets. We couldn't do this the first time, folks. Why? Because we were at a bare minimal stage, right? But we got the win with that. And then I'm going to show them how to set up their tracking. Okay, so that is the agenda for the call. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. And it's kind of funny, but I found, and I'm not going to play it for you right now because I want you to hear it on the call, but this video is from 12 years ago. And this is how it started.
Warning, what you're about to see is real.
Right? So this video is on YouTube from 12 years ago. And I'm going to talk about how I went out there and basically destroyed my credit. And it wasn't by choice, but my credit was destroyed. And look at this. I was like number 3 for Lexington Law Firm. I went and I had 17 items removed. And I kept shooting these videos for credit expert help. These are all my videos right here, right? Look at this. 11 years ago, folks. So I'm going to tell the story about how I accidentally went out there, had my credit destroyed, signed up to get my credit fixed, started getting letters in the mail, credit started going up. I started shooting videos, right? Video had just come out, started throwing up on YouTube or whatever. Lo and behold, I started getting sales. So I made a lot of money with credit repair. Kind of the same similar story that I told at the live event. But then I'm going to say, but I left most of the money on the table, right? And the reason why, can anybody guess the reason why I left most of the money on the table? Pumping out videos like this and everything else. And I had an affiliate link in the description, but why did I leave most of the money on the table? Yep, I didn't know about getting the email. So then I went out there and I pulled this up in the Wayback Machine, developingphotographicmemory.com. When you click this banner here, people would click this banner. So they would search for how to develop their photographic memory and everything. And I had all these articles that were written from outsourcers in the Philippines. Then they would click on this banner here and it would take them to a page that looked just like this. This is how pages looked 12 years ago, guys. And then people would go and they'd enter their name and email here, right? That changed everything for me, okay? And the reason why is because the rule of 7, right? It's fairly well-known marketing concepts, which says a prospect needs to see, hear, or otherwise be exposed to a message at least 7 times before they respond in some way, okay? So then that site, that was called developingphotographicmemory.com. You can see December 2010. I then went out there and had one called Acne Cures from 2010, 2011. It was the same thing. I had a banner here. You click the banner, and then it took you to a page that looked just like this. This page converted better than this page. So this here, just having the text with the fields here, actually converted better. And we started doing all the pages like this, right? Which has now evolved to a page that looks like this. That requires no pictures, no video, no profile. So then I'm going to go into the 3 steps to make money, right? Number 1, find an affiliate that pays for you to sell. Number 2, create a lead capture page for that offer. Number 3, have a series of emails written. So I'm going to show them how to go out there and find an affiliate program for anything. I'm going to show them how you're going to create a lead page, and then we're going to talk about the email follow-ups, right? So what's stopping you? Being able to create the pages, being able to track the links, being able to find and track the leads, okay? So make sure nothing stops you. Then we're going to go through if you can copy 3 lines of code, easy, fast, responsive, and we're going to do a live demo of the lead steps and the bridge pages. And I'm going to show how you pull the headlines in and you rewrite them with AI. Does everybody understand the journey that we're going down here? Right? So then we show our scores, blah, 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 right? But then we're going to go through and we're going to show the split testing. How many of you have been doing the split testing? So we're going to go through, we're going to show the split testing. Then we're going to go through and we're going to show, well, what about paid ads? You keep hearing about all this stuff with paid ads. Well, the problem with paid ads, number one, you got to have a custom domain approved with Facebook. Number two, you got to create all your compliance pages. Number three, you got to place your pixels in your pages. Well, guess what? All that's been taken care of for you. You come over here, you add as many domains as you want to. Next, you're going to come over here. You guys haven't seen this yet, but you're just going to tell us which domain, and then Facebook's going to give you a code, and that's going to automatically approve your domain. And then you're going to go ahead and place your pixel in here, and we're going to place the pixel for you. And then the real beauty is that we have all your compliance pages taken care of. All of this happens with a simple flip of a switch. How many of you would agree? How many of you know that's a true statement? That we will pull in your privacy policy, your terms and conditions, your site disclaimer, your cookie policy. All those pages are automatically created, and all these disclaimers come in. Everything happens automatically. And then I'm going to show how we're going to bring a solo ad different than we did the first time. I'm going to show them how to set up the traffic blast. I'm going to show them how we just go into Udemy. We book our own traffic. I'm not here to sell you traffic. I'm not going to try to make money on the traffic. I didn't make any money off any of the traffic that you guys bought. I was not happy with the results, but I'm just going to open up Udemy, show them what to look out for. Say, okay, here's your page. Here's your traffic blast. Boom. Now you can go out there and you can do this. Now, how many of you think that that is a pretty incredible webinar? Yes or no? And we're still doing it. We're still working on it. We're still working on it. We're still working on it. It's going to be a lot higher than it was when you bought it. It'll probably be at a $1,200 price point. But once I got QuizForma launching, I got GC launching, then PopLinks circles back around. And the reason why is because PopLinks will have AI and PopLinks will have the funnel abilities. Is that making sense? Okay, great. So here's the thing. Connie, do you want to come over here for a minute? 1,200 will be platinum. It'll be everything that you see here. It'll be a $1,200 platinum webinar, and that will be it. That will be it. Oh, the calendar thing. Yeah. So Courtney, with the pro version of which you will have, the pro version of Global Control will have the automations. Will have, we've already built it. It'll have the automations. It'll have the sales pipeline. It will have the calendar inside there. It will have advanced contact management, and it will have opportunities. Now, to be honest with you, I was just on a mastermind call, and you can ask Connie, she was there. Very high-level mastermind call, and the guy that was demoing the software that pretty much ripped me off said, don't worry about this. Don't worry about using the membership. Don't worry about using the blog. Nobody uses this. Nobody uses that. Nobody uses this. Nobody uses that. It was pretty much they bring the lead in. They have the follow-up with the text messages, the chats, the email. That was their whole system. That was their whole system, right? So we're going to do better than that. You will see that happen here real soon. But everything is being tested out. By March 10th, which we're 9 days away, I can even show you, by March 10th, Let me show you. It's going to be a good day for us. My team is so on track. I'll tell you, this is a good little tip for you too. Matter of fact, I met with our production manager at the shop this morning. Let me see if I can find it here. And I said, I need you to put this together for me because I need to keep you on track with what we're doing. But this right here, let me know if you guys can see this. This is a checklist on only global control. So you can see down here, this is when they finish things, okay? This is a Microsoft Office checklist. So over here, let's see, when was this given to me? Hold on a minute, let me see when this was given to me. Yesterday, okay. So over here, they're redoing the tag fire, then they're going to reporting, dashboard, then we're over here working on integrations, version 2, integrations with the API key, and then by March 10th, I'm told all the new integrations will be inside of your account. All of them inside of your account. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, somebody's asking about the Trello. I don't want to share Trello too much right now because it will definitely confuse things, but let me just say this. Okay, so Connie went and took everybody that was interested in getting the ChatGPT notifications and everything, and you put them in Aweber, right?
Yes.
So Aweber is a little bit confusing of how it does the automations and everything. I need to go into her account because I think there's an automation that says anytime a lead is added to Aweber, put them in this automation. I think that's what's happening. How many of you got emails from her regarding PopLinks because she did not mean to send that? Let's see if, yep. Okay, Vicky got it. Okay. So first of all, that was not intentional. We're going to go in there. We're going to shut that off. Okay. And what you will get, okay. Do you want to say sorry? Because I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I had gone in there and shut it off. So the fact that you guys are still getting all of that, I have no idea why. I need Chad to come, like, help me with it. Because I don't know why you guys are getting all of that. Sorry.
But you did turn it off?
I did turn it off.
When did you turn it off?
Huh?
When did you turn it off?
It was well. Remember when we went in there with the automation and we like clicked it off?
Okay. Well, February 25th is the last one he got. All right. Well, anyways, we will get that fixed. Okay. But what you do want to look for is updates on the new ChatGPT videos that are coming out, right? Because she's going to mail them to you first. And what we really appreciate is when you watch those videos, if you get value out of it, leave a comment down below. And then I'm going to work with her to make sure that she's replying to those comments because that's super, super important that everybody sees that she's active, right? But she's kind of putting together all the pieces herself. And they move very, very fast. And if you miss one thing, it puts a whole kink in there. So we'll do that. Now, how many of you have become familiar with what she's doing in these videos? Go to, what's your domain?
marketinginsider.io/chat GPT.
Okay. marketinginsider.io/chat GPT. You will be the first ones to get, no, you don't have to do that. That was not it. It's just Marketing Insider.
It's without the chat.
Just Marketing Insider.
.io, right?
That's it. Yep. Just Marketing Insider. Okay. So do that. Join that list. We'll make sure that we turn off that automation. I'll help her with that. You will be the first one to get the videos before they go to a Google Doc. We want to get your comments on there and everything else. And then if you're into everything that we're doing here, is it Sunday or Monday? What day is it?
It's going to be Sunday.
Sunday, and I'm going to help her with this. she is going to be doing her first guest webinar with an expert with Chat GPT, and that's going to be on Sunday. Does that make sense to everybody? Are you nervous on that?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. When she does that webinar and she has that replay, can anybody guess what she can do with that? Number one, she can put it in her follow-up. Number two, she can put it on the Google Doc. Does that make sense? And yeah, we'll put it on a PopLinks page for sure. Absolutely, we'll put it on. That goes without saying, right? But we'll take that link, we'll put it on a Google Doc, we'll take that link, we'll put it in the follow-up, and we'll have a nice, beautiful link that she can always remember. Now, how many of you are starting to connect the dots? Scale of 1 to 10, how many of you are connecting the dots? There you go. Okay. All right, how do we do? Any other questions? I don't see Robert on the call.
Robert, no, he's not doing really well. I check up on him.
It's too bad. Okay. Pretty soon, Mike. I do have it on the list. I'll get with you, Herbert. Okay, good. So do y'all have enough to keep you busy now? I'm right on the 11:30 mark, right where I wanted to be. Do y'all have enough to keep you busy? Let me get done with this webinar, folks. I'm super, super, super excited for this webinar. The platform is just solid. We've been working our butts off. I had to kind of regroup. Everybody was like taking control and going a different direction. And man, I want to stick to PopLinks and QuizForma and GC and Revolver. And I promise you, our software is top notch, folks, and it always will be. Okay. So, a link for the web will be inside of your JVZoo account. And I'm actually working on the webinar today. So what will happen, folks, is can you all help me with that webinar? I want it to be very live. I want it to be interactive. I'd love for you to unmute yourself. Like, I want to get a great recording, and I don't like, I always like to have an audience there, right? So I will let you know as soon as I get done with these slides, when we're ready to shoot that webinar. We will take the recording, we will put it on the page, we will make that an affiliate link. You will be able to go out there and promote that webinar. Cool? Does that work? Okay, what time's the webinar on Sunday?
I believe it is at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
All right.
10 a.m. Pacific time.
10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let her send out emails first, because I want her to start getting used to taking care of her lists and seeing how opens work and everything else. Yeah, it will be a good time. We'll keep you all posted. Please go out there and make things happen with what we showed you. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks, everybody.